So you're trying to get to your goal, and there are two paths. One is easier, one is more difficult. Which one would you choose? Oh, of course, the easier one. Who would choose the difficult one? But today I'm going to tell you a story about a bus. A bus that changed how I see this question and changed how I make my life choices. It was more than 10 years ago, in 2013. Me and my best friend Neil, we were going to do this long distance biking trip in Vietnam. We've been looking forward to this trip for a really long time because this was going to be our first time doing a long distance biking trip together and in a foreign country, Vietnam, that we've been to for the very first time. We wanted to cover the whole Vietnam from the northern capital city, Hanoi, to the southern city, Ho Chi Minh City. But we didn't have enough time. So our plan was to get into Hanoi and get on public transportation, maybe a train or a bus, and get to middle Vietnam, get off, get on our bikes, and bike all the way from there to Ho Chi Minh City. But things didn't go as we planned. We make the mistake by planning the trip overlapping a week-long national holiday in Vietnam. When we got to Hanoi, we saw people everywhere. We got to the train station to get train ticket, couldn't get one because it was sold out. We went to the tour bus agency, tried to get a ticket, couldn't get one because it was sold out. We were stuck. We were stuck in Vietnam. We were so close to starting our bicycle trip. It's just one bus or one train away, but we just couldn't get there. Well, we didn't give up. We went around to ask people. We asked people in the restaurant. We asked people in the hotel, in the train station, in the bus station. Finally, with some kind local people's help, we found this bus. We found this local bus, which almost no foreigner would take because it didn't have a published schedule. It didn't have any English speaking staff. No one could figure out where to take this bus. I mean, for foreigners. But we were able to find it. Well, thanks to Google Translate, we were able to ask for tickets and we found this bus. And we got to this bus, realizing that this bus was nothing like what we expected. We were hoping that on a train we have air conditioning, sleeping seats, or a bus, the same thing. Air conditioning, sleeping seats. We sleep overnight, get to the city, and we get on our bikes, start our bike trip. But no, this bus has nothing like that. No air conditioning, no sleeping seats. And we asked the bus driver, how long does it take to get to the city called Nha Trang, where we were going to start our bicycle trip from? And the driver said, tomorrow evening. Well, that was the morning on the first date, which means we were going to spend 2 whole days on that bus. 2 whole days. God. Are we going to do it? Really? Because we're not going to have good sleep. We're going to have terrible rest. When we get to Nha Trang, we'll be so exhausted. How can we start our bicycle trip? I didn't want to do it. But Neo say, Bill, see, we don't have other choices. We're so close to this dream trip that we've been looking forward to. Let's get on this bus and see where it takes us. I say, okay, let's see. So we got on this bus anyways. But the moment we got on this bus, something changed. This whole journey on the bus turned into a wonderful experience, a wonderful memory. Let me tell you more about it. The bus was run by a crew of 4 people, 2 drivers, 2 conductors. The drivers take turns to drive the bus. The conductors take turns to recruit passengers because they need to make money. So the bus stopped all the time. They stopped at every single town and village that they passed by. And they kept the door open all the way. The conductor would stand next to the door and keep shouting out towards the town and village that they passed by. They shout out the destination, shout out the major stops that they would stop by. They got people on and they let people off. Actually, a lot of passengers on that bus got off halfway. And we, the 2 foreigners on the bus, were almost the only person who stay on the bus for more than 30 hours. Some of the passengers, they were really interesting. One of this guy who had a cricket on his neck when he got on his bus. I was pretty sure that he knew that there was a cricket on his neck, but he didn't seem to care. He didn't even seem to want to make the effort to get rid of that cricket. It was almost like, yeah, this is my pet. Say hello. And because we had so much time on the bus, we pay attention to every single thing that we could look at. We look at the rice fields outside of the window on both sides of the road. Beautiful. We look at the oceans next to the road. Blue sky. The sunny days. We look at the people in the morning going to work or going to school. In the evening coming back from work or coming back from school. Walking or on their bicycle. Chatting, having a conversation. It's a beautiful life that Vietnamese people were living. We look at the interesting things that happen in the road. I mean, on the road. There were cows walking in the middle of the road, very slowly. And all the trucks and the cars and all the vehicles have to just follow slowly behind and waiting, patiently waiting for the cows to walk to the side of the road. And there was a truck that was running towards the other direction. And it was transporting boxes of fruits. One of the boxes fell off to the middle of the road. Our crew was trying to stop the truck, trying to tell them. They were waving to the truck driver, trying to tell the truck that, hey, you dropped something on the road. But the truck driver didn't see it. And our bus just stopped. And the whole crew went down, make sure that there was no car passing by, and they grabbed that box of fruit. And with a big smile, they brought it onto our bus. And we, being the 2 foreigners on the bus, luckily have the chance to share one of the fruit. There were just a lot of memories happen in those 36 hours that we were on the bus. We chatted with the crew over Google Translate. We exchanged life stories. We got bonded with the crew. And with the passengers, we didn't really talk. But in that moment, in that bus, it just felt like all these lives converge into this bus at this time, in this space. It was amazing when thinking about it, that strangers were getting onto this bus together. It almost felt like we were on a road trip with all these strangers together sailing towards a goal. So by the end of the trip, we got to Nha Trang. We got to the starting point of our bicycle trip. We got our bikes. We got on our bikes. And we were saying goodbye to the crew. The crew was having big smiles on their faces, waving us, saying goodbye. We almost didn't want that bus trip to end. Now, thinking back from there, I didn't want to take that bus. But 10 years later, I'm sitting here telling you this story, telling you this beautiful memory that I have. Why did I say that this bus changed how I see that question that I asked at the beginning? Because yes, of course, there's an easy route and there's a difficult route. And we always tend to choose the easy one. But you just don't know what is in there in the more difficult route until you get into it, get onto that road, get onto that journey. Give it time and space, feel it, experience it. Although it's difficult, it would turn out to be a wonderful memory that you would remember for much, much longer in your life. If I were to choose the easier route, well, I didn't have a choice, you can tell. But if I were to go with the easy route, which was to get on a train or get on a tour bus that have sleeping seats and air conditioning, then the story today that I will be telling will be so boring and uninteresting. So, now you have a life choice. Two paths in front of you. One is easier, one is more difficult. Which one would you choose? That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.